How can I capture images that make great impact? What's really so interesting about composition? Are there some guidelines in the initial stage of photography?
So if you had all those queries about what to include in an image, what to exclude, or how to frame an image, this session answers them all. Welcome to another session of Nikon DSLR tutorials. In the previous session, we spoke about important camera controls and menus. In this session, we'll be talking about composition. Composition is how you frame your image. There are a few guidelines that you can follow which will make your images more interesting and engaging. Now, talking about the rules of composition, let's talk about the first rule of composition, the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds states that if you were to divide your frame with 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines, and place the most interesting component of your image at the intersection of these lines, you would have achieved rule of thirds. To understand the rule of thirds better, let's look at these images on the screen. You will see that both these images fulfill the rule of thirds. Another rule of composition is balancing elements. Balancing elements deals with the visual weight of the image. To understand this rule better, let's look at a few examples. In the first image, you see the camel in the foreground is balanced by the group of people in the background. This does not make the image look tilted towards one side. In the second image, you see the similar thing happening, where you see the camel chariot in the front is balanced by the camel chariot in the back, and this also gives you a visually balanced image. Now let's talk about framing. Framing deals with what to include or what to exclude in our image. It also gives us guidelines of using natural elements or surroundings to our advantage or as a frame in our image. Let's look at the first image to understand this better. In the first image, we see how we have used the arch of a doorway to encapsulate and frame a monument. In the second image, you will see how we've used different elements to frame this image, like the branches of the trees on the sides, the trees on the hill, the mountains in the background, and the clouds in the sky. All these components together give this image a cinematic feel. Another rule of composition is leading lines. With the use of leading lines in images, we draw the viewer's attention into the image or towards a specific portion of the image. Let's have a look at the first example, where we have used the walls of this passage to draw the viewer's attention towards the building in the background. In the second image, we use the road as a leading line into the image, which draws the viewer's attention towards the hills and the clouds. In composition, viewpoint talks about how changing different camera angles can change the perspective of an image. Like if you were to take a picture of a child playing from up here, you would probably dwarf the child. So it is advisable to go down to the eye level of the child and then take a picture. In the first image, you see that we've chosen to actually go sit down on the ground and take this image from a very low perspective. This gives the monument a larger than life feel. Talking about another rule of composition, into the frame. Into the frame talks about leaving positive space in the direction in which your subject is either looking or moving. If you look at the first image, we have a man which is looking towards the right, and so we have left positive space on the right side of the image. If we go to the second image, you would see that we have left positive space towards the left of the image because that is the direction in which the horse is moving. Thank you for watching this tutorial. We hope you enjoyed this session on composition. Stay tuned for some more interesting videos coming your way. Until then, this is your Nikon buddy Rohan signing off.